What is up, everybody? Today we're going to do a couple of tutorials and we're going to do some walls. This is for the new players out there that are just starting out. I've been playing Girl Tech for almost 5 years now, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. Please hit the subscribe button and give me a couple likes maybe. Alrighty, everybody, what is up? We are going to start at walls first. We're at stump wall here. We're just going to be doing some wall climbing first. This is what I recommend for all players to do first before trying to Lucio or wall run. It's the bare basics of the game. It's going to be one of the best movement methods you can do. Alright, so to start, you want to make sure your hands are always slanted. You don't want your hands like this, or else you can kind of go somewhere, but you're going to fall down eventually. You want to have your hands slanted. You don't want to push up and to the right. If you have your left hand here, you need to push to the right and up. And with your right, you're going to push to the left and up. And it slowly should start pushing you up. And eventually, you're going to reach slippery walls, which most players struggle on, just because they make you fall off. So make sure you always get that push down into the left and push right and down. That's something players struggle on the most, is getting that down. Because if you don't get that down, you're not going to move. A lot of players will try to attack the wall, like they try to bear climb it. Which, I could probably bear climb this, but let's see. Yeah, there's no way I'm going anywhere. So always make sure pushing down to the left, push down to the right. Start moving up. That's the method I always teach people, is you just have to do that to get up a little more. I feel like newer players lose a lot of traction as they start to get better at the game. They start to get better on walls. It's just something that comes from practice. I recommend practice like 10-20 minutes each day. You need to practice each day. If you're busy, just take your time. Always make sure you go somewhere. Alright, everybody, we are back at stump wall. We're going to be doing wall running next. Wall running is the second basic foundation after wall climbing. Wall running is where you use one hand instead of both your hands. Next, we're going to do wall running all the way up to that right there. This is what I did when I started playing. I just took my time, and make sure you always use a suitable wall for this. Now I use stump wall in this video. However, you can use death wall over there by second tallest. You can use that one as well. It just matters how slanted it is and how hard it's going to be wall run for you. So to start out, I always recommend your hand goes flat against the wall, and I want to push down, make like a D shape almost. I make a D shape, and you can slowly start going up. Now, if you're struggling with traction, I recommend using an easier wall. So easier wall is going to be over here on death wall, or it's going to be over here on tall wall. Tall wall is actually a great wall to practice on, especially for your left hand, which I'll show you some crazy tracing tips. If you need to train, I'll show you here on tall wall and on death wall. So just make sure you have your hand flat. You're going to push down, and make a little circle. Now, it's going to be a little hard the first time getting it down. So you're just doing like a huge oval. You're pushing down like a D. And you make sure you're doing that. And you start going up a lot. Now for your left hand's going to be way harder, especially because all these walls, look at these walls. This is a terrible wall for left hand. It's going to be much harder for me to get up there. So I'll show you guys a better method of working on your left hand wall running. Is you just come up here where you've just wall run up to on your right hand, and use your left hand to wall run all the side over here and come down here. So if you come down here on this branch, it will give you easier access to do your right hand wall running all the way up to here, and then give you easier access to start wall running with your left hand all the way over here. Now make sure you practice these. I always set a goal when I'm practicing branches or I'm practicing walls. I get a goal of like 30 or 20 or 15. If I could do this 30 times in a row, I have it down. Like I could do it in this scrim. So I always do this 30 times in a row. I'm gonna do this once. Then I'm gonna do this twice. I'm just gonna do it 5 times for you guys, but you guys get the gist. 2, 3, and there's 4. And here is 5. Alright. So you want to get that down 30 times. You want to do it 30 times in a row. You want to practice as much as you can. Try to get it down as soon as you can. And now for your right hand, since it's going to be much stronger, something I'm going to show you, a nice training area you can use with your right hand. I will jump over to that right now. Alrighty guys, we are back on the walls. We are on back wall, which I consider to be the hardest wall to wall run, considering look at all these jagged edges. Slippery walls are untouchable on this wall. It's going to be much harder of a time for you to get up and down these walls. However, they can be super useful for getting up to high branches like that, or that even, especially if you're good at walls. So we're gonna move right into right hand training exercises for those who are more intermediate and even like pro or expert at the game. So we're gonna move up to wall running up to here. And the second time, we're gonna wall run up to there with a break from there. So we're gonna stop at this branch and we're gonna go up there. And the third time, we're gonna go all the way from the ground, all the way up to there. And the fourth time, let's see if even I can do it. We're gonna go all the way up, slip slop off of there, and go up to there. Alright, so let's do the first time. Make sure you're using that D shape, oh my goodness. Okay, we got up to here. And like I said earlier, you try to do as much as you can, just to get it down. Oh my goodness, you guys did not see that. Okay, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so next we're gonna do the second route, or not like second route, but second option you can do. Come back here, stop here, and come up all the way to here. Now I'm going to do it just 2 times in a row, just to save on time. Alright, there's 1. Alright, and there's 2. Okay, next we're going to do something much harder. Is we're going to wall run all the way up to here and touch that branch. I kind of fell. So all we're going to do is try to wall run all the way to the top and hit that. Now, if I was learning walls again, I would probably do it 12, 10, maybe 15 times. I don't even know why I said 12, 10. But a lot of times in a row, just so I can get it down. Alright, there's 1. I'm just going to do 2 times in a row. Oh, wow. Yeah, this is a brutal wall to get up. especially if you're a new or even intermediate player. Alright, and for our last time, we're going to see if I can slip slap this or if I'm going to be stuck here. So what the method is, it's called a wall camper slip. All you have to do is stand here, or not stand here, wall run here, slip all the way up to here, off the slip slap walls and up to there, or above the red walls. Now let me see if I can do it. Oh my god. Even I struggle with this one. I'm not the best at walls myself. Holy. Now there is a method for making this easier. All you have to do, there's a little overhang. You can see it if you're coming from this side. I don't know if I can make this one. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna have to make this one in due time. Alright, so, let's see. Let's try one more time. Yeah, there's no way I'm doing this one. Alright, we're gonna move on to our left-hand training exercises and places to train them. Alright, we'll move right over to that. Alright, for our next training exercise, the bug went right through the wall. We're going to do our left hand. We're going to be staying at tall wall and back wall. So you can see here, the wall is very slanted and very hard to get up. It's a great way to really flex those left hand muscles and try to get up a little bit. You're going to lose a lot of speed and you're not going to move up as much. That's why I recommend always using your right hand when possible on walls. However, it's a good idea to use your left hand as well. So for our first option, you saw me do it here. We're going to go up to there. And for our second route, or second option, we're going to go up to there. And for our third, it's going to be a mighty one. We're going to go all the way up to there. Alright, let's see if we can do this. Oh, I already messed it up. Alright, here is the first. I'm going to do 2 tries. Alright. Oh, wow. Alright, second. Here we go, it's second time. Now we're gonna go into our third. Let's see if I can even do it though. Or if I need to stop. Oh yes, there we go. I count that. So make sure you take the time to really work that left hand. Even I gotta work my left hand a little bit. I'm a pretty shabby left hand wall player. Oh, I'm lagging. Let's try that again. Oh, I guess up here. It's kind of cheated there, but I was kind of the second try. And you could even get more extreme if you're a pro player or really good at walls. Go your left hand all the way down there. A wall run all the way up. And then you could slip slop off of there and go up to there. Alright. We're now going to move on to branches, which are going to be the most important part of your game. Especially when getting lava monkeys, because you have boost. And lava monkeys with boost is going to be very hard to branch. So I'll show you some simple routes. And then we're moving to some more complex routes. Alrighty everybody, we are on ground. And we're going to be learning how to scale first. That's going to be the foundation of branching. In order to start branching, you need to start scaling. Even the most simplest scaling is going to be a little bit hard for beginners. Especially, I think it's like a lot of beginners struggle with getting their hands on the ground and getting a lot of traction. I feel a lot of players struggle to move just because their arms are shorter. and because they don't understand the physics of the game. Alright, so first of all, we are at Dawn Tree. This is Dawn Tree right here. It's going to be right next to Ramp, which is going to be, like a standard play area of most players. So it's going to be right next to Ramp. You're going to go to this side. This is a great way to learn how to pinch climb. Now, pinch climbing, all you have to do is grab the jagged edge of this tree, move your arms in a circle, and put your hand where there's a branch. Now, I recommend doing this like 5 or 6 times in a row until you can start getting it really fast. Something like that. Now, if you've seen our wall running section before on this video, some of your wall running might come in handy here, especially if you know how to get that traction down. Now for this, it's going to be like bear climbing. Bear climbing is where you just have your hands flat like this, and all you do is just push up. You push up like this. Boom, boom. And I fell. You're going to be pushing up with both your hands. You're going to make sure that you don't push back, because if you push back, you're going to be able to not hit that second time. I'm going to, now what I did there is a little hard, is I moved my head, and now my hand came over. Now if you're struggling with that, you can just go over to this branch and move up here. And then I recommend just going the shortest distance. And even if you're struggling with initial scaling, I just recommend taking the shortest path. You just push off here, come here, come over to this side of the branch, come here, up here, here, and now you're already at Stump. Great way of getting up, especially for newer players and intermediate players. People who don't understand how to scale. Great way how to get up. And if you're struggling with this, something I recommend is getting really good at walls. Learning that traction control is great. So basically all you're doing is just going all the way around, just like a merry-go-round. Alright, maybe we are... Alright, so we're at the tall tree. I hope you guys have learned a little bit about scaling. I know I'm not the best teacher in the world. I'm just trying to shine some light on like trees and scaling and how to do branches, since I'm a branch main. And we're getting more into some routes and breaking down routes later. However, I'm just going to go on the basics and the foundations of branching. So next, we're going to do scale Big Tree, which is the tallest tree in the game. It's pretty high up there. It's going to be the hardest tree to scale, especially for newer players and intermediate players. Pros can scale it whenever they want. So all I have to do is exactly like we did at Dawn Tree. Just hit here, here. Now you can come over here, or you can just hit up here. That's going to be a big gap area where there are no branches. I do something more advanced where I hit 2 times in succession, like you're kind of wall running it. So if you wall run this tree, you can get up here, but I kind of missed it. Oh my goodness gracious. Alright, so you just wall run this tree. You can start getting up here. But if you are struggling with that, come over to here. Go all the way around. And now this is going to be another hard part, is hitting up to here. And then I recommend pinch climbing. Pinch climbing is going to be a great factor for this. It's going to be much easier. So I'm just going to go through it again. So come here, pushing off of here. Wrap your hand around that. Coming here, pushing up. Coming here, either going around like this, or wall running this, coming up here, and pinch climbing. It's going to be the best method for getting on Tall Tree. And we will be going on to a separate video about scaling and Tall Tree. This is just a little bit of maybe a refresher, or maybe a little bit of a starting guide for those who want to learn. Alright, now that we know to scale and how to do a little bit of branching maybe, we're going to move on to some easy beginner routes that anybody could pull off. I feel like these are going to be great for beginners. So we're just going to come up to ramp here. Now, when you look at ramp, it's very steep. Not a lot of people want to go up this. You're going to lose a lot of speed. All you're going to do is come around here, come down here, and jump up the bridge. And you can go the opposite way as well. If you want to come down, you just come here, here, and come to the bridge. Now I'm going to be a lot faster than new players. However, it's going to be a little bit harder for new players to learn. So I'm just going to go through it again. Come here, come over to here, come here, and go up to bridge. Now you've completely bypassed the ramp, and now you don't have to go all the way up it. I'll show you. You can, now me, a more experienced player, is going to be a lot easier to go up ramp. I just avoid this and go up ramp. However, a new player has shorter arms, maybe not shorter arms if you're a little older. Just use easy route to completely bypass ramp. And now you're over here. And this treehouse right there as well. I'll go onto that later. It's a little more advanced routes. However, we are going to move on to our next route, which is going to be a little bit harder, slowly getting harder. And then on the last level, we're going to go completely advanced and completely high pro for those who want to learn the best routes possible. Alright, for our next route, we're going to do a little bit of a harder one. This one's still a little bit semi-beginner. Some beginners can do it. It's going to be a little bit harder, especially for them to do it. However, intermediate players should not struggle that much. So we're just going to start here at Stump. You start right from the entrance. Here's the entrance stump. You start right here. Come over to here. You're coming here. You see this? Coming up. All you have to do is your hand doesn't hit it or your head doesn't hit it. All you have to do is reach your hand up. Or if you're struggling with that, you can come over to this small little branch. Come up to the platform. That's going to be a little bit hard because of the leaves, but that's fine. All you have to do is do it again. I kind of fell there. I am lagging, holy. So all I have to do is come here. Come all the way over to here. You can either go up here if you're more comfortable with that, or come here if you're a little bit less comfortable. And this is 2 branches to come up to Stump and go under, either rotate to tall platform if you're more experienced, or just stay here if you're a little bit more beginner. So we're just gonna speed that route up a little bit and see what it looks like. Oh, I just completely de-beginner-fied that. So alright, we're gonna be speeding up this route a little bit, and we're gonna see what it looks like. Alright, this is a little bit of a sped up route. It's not the fastest it's gonna be. And I completely lied about this. You can totally make this jump if you have a little bit of a longer arm span. All you do is you just skip this branch, come up here. However, if you get a little bit shorter arms and don't have enough power, you can just use like a staircase and come up here. Alright. Now I recommend this route for beginners and intermediates. It's a great useful route for getting up to Stump. Now as you see here, you could go like this. You could also go up here. However, a lot of people might get tagged that way, so it's a great way to evade lava monkeys And we're going to go on to our next route. It's going to be fully intermediate. Maybe some beginners can get into it, but it really depends on how good their skill level is. Alright everybody, we are on to our next route location. For our next route location, it's going to be right here, next to slide. So it's going to be right next to slide tree, right here. And what you want to do, it's going to involve a lot more scaling. So that's why I recommend to intermediate players, because beginners are going to struggle with scaling. That's the only scaling method. It's the only scaling part you have to really do. So it's going to come here, hit off here, come here. Now you can either go here, or you can come here. I recommend always coming here. Come here. And you're going to have your hand come here, wrap it around here, and come up here. Now you're on platforms. Pretty simple, pretty easy. Great way to get all the monkeys off of you. Depends on what skill level you are, and what group you're playing with. It could be good or bad. I'm gonna do it again. Now for this here, what I recommend is pulling forward and pushing up. So you automatically come up here. Oh, I fell all the way down. I'll just do it all again just to get that down pretty ingrained. Alright, now it's pretty easy. Alright, so next you guys... Alright, it's going to be a variation of this route I just showed you guys. It's going to be where you come here, but instead of going here, all you're doing is jumping over to here. Pretty easy jump. Maybe someone doesn't have long enough arms. They struggle a little bit. I promise you, you will get it. You will get it eventually. It takes time to practice, like everything else does. Just gonna make this jump over here. Now, if you're a little bit more inclined and more advanced inclined, you can come here and come up to this branch, or you can just come up here where it's more level. Now, I would say to hit up here, but if you struggle with a little bit of scaling, it's no problem. You just come here and go wherever you want. Go to ramp. Where is this random sunlight spot coming from? Or you can go up here. Oh my god, I almost fell. And come up to stump. A stump's going to be like a major rotation point. In games, it's going to be the best for you. Alright, we're just going to do it again. Maybe speed it up a little bit. Now you can hit from farther back if you wish, or you can come up more straight. And for this one, I'm just going to hit up here and come up to stump. Great intermediate route that everybody can use. I would recommend it to anybody who's trying to get into a little bit of scrims, maybe some low pro, maybe low semi, but it's great for anybody who wants to use it. Oh, I missed that. Alright, so we're going to move on to our next route. This one's going to be a little bit more advanced, a little more intermediate. It's going to involve more scaling. No under branches yet. I'll be teaching you guys about under branches in a couple minutes. Hope you guys like the video so far. And it's going to be, we're going to be right. Oh my goodness, I cannot speak. We're going to go right into the next route for you guys. Alright, so we are on to the next route. We're going to back to Dawn Tree, right by ramp. Now things are going to involve more scaling, like I showed you in the video where you guys are practiced on this tree. All you want to do is to come here you want to scale this, come here, and you see this little lip here. All you do is hit off of here. Now you can use your right or left. I wouldn't use my left because I can use your left if you wanted to. It's just going to be much easier. Or if you're a little more advanced and you want to show off a little bit, all you have to do is hit off these two as well. Now for the route, I'm just going to hit here. So you're hitting here. Now you can either go further into Blender or you can go straight up to bridge, but I failed that. So you're gonna do it over again. Go straight into bridge like that. It's gonna be a great way for you to get some height from being grounded all the way up to bridge. So I'm gonna do it again. Oh, I completely failed that. Alrighty, everybody, we are back with another route. It's gonna be more advanced. It's not gonna be a complete expert route or pro route yet. We're still not there. However, we're just gonna get straight into it. So we're gonna start here at Dawntree, right by ramp. You're going to scale this part here. We're going to hit off this little lip here. You can use your right, or if you're a little bit more advanced, you want to use your left. You can hit off these two here. Whatever, I'm just going to use this for my right. And we can go straight here onto bridge, or you can go more into Blender. However, Blender's going to be more advanced. And I wouldn't recommend it for intermediate players. Especially they might get a little lost or stuck. I watched like 4 or 5 people yesterday get stuck here. It's a great way to lose lava monkeys, but you could also risk it all. So all you're doing is coming here and going up straight to bridge, and now you have a great way to get height. You're straight from ground all the way up here. So I do it again, maybe do a little faster. Alright, that's a pretty fast route. Great for getting up here to bridge. Great for intermediate players, maybe even expert players who want to just use a little more of a chill route. Alright, and there we go. Just like that. And now, I feel like I might do a little bit of a variation of this, where instead of going up to bridge, all you do is you walk past these leaves. A little hard to see depending on which season you're on. And all you have to do is come up here and hit off this very large branch and hit up like that. Now I'm going to show you the winter version of this. I'm going to show you what it looks like. It's going to be a little bit easier to see for you guys. And it's going to be staying like that for a lot of the advanced routes so you guys can see. So let's get right onto that. Alright, so now we're in a change of scenery here. We have Christmas lights, no leaves, snow on the ground. A little bit of Christmas cheer. And I'm in Virtual Stump, obviously. So we're just going to move on right onto that route. Coming here. Coming up here. And now there would be like a giant leaf in the way. However, there's not. Much easier to see. I would just recommend this if you're practicing more advanced routes. Is just go to a map with no leaves. Look for like a winterish map. I'm just using the map for Barks menu. Great way to practice since there's no leaves. A little bit glitchier just because of the Christmas lights, and especially some of the more advanced routes. The Christmas lights are going to get in your way for sure. However, that shouldn't be an issue today. So it's going to come right here, up and hit here. And I'm going to move on to the first advanced route of the video. But first, we must learn underbranching. It's going to be one of the most important parts of routes, is going to be the underbranching. especially if you want to get monkeys off of you. Lava monkeys, anybody. We're going to move over to Treehouse. Alright everybody, we are at Treehouse today. We are going to be learning underbranching. It's going to be some of the most important parts of growth tag and branching in general. It's going to be a little bit harder to scale this tree, especially if you're a little bit of a beginner. However, you should generally not be learning underbranching as a beginner. You want to learn the more foundational parts of it. So for this part, all you're going to do is you're going to aim a little bit lower, and you're going to aim for here, and you're going to hit the side of the treehouse. Now if you see what I did there, I tilted my head. So you tilt your head in real life, and your growth tag, like your player model, tilts with it. So it's going to be easier to get your head around the treehouse or branches. So I'll show you again. Here, tilt, push off the side, aim right for this branch. It's going to be the first underbranch you're going to do. I'm going to try to get like 10 times in a row, maybe 5 times in a row. See how it goes. Alright, there's one. There's two. Three. Try that again. That fell. It's 4. And here is 5. Alright. So I want you guys to practice this one, especially if you want to get underbranching down. Practice it like like 10 minutes every day. Try to get it down. Try to do it like 30 times in a row. I know 30 seems a little bit high, but you need to get this down, especially to learn not newer routes, but like more advanced routes out of your skill range, and start moving up. So next, we're going to move on to the first route with a little bit of underbranching. Maybe you guys can learn from that, or maybe we just go straight into a little bit of more learning on underbranching. I think I'm just going to do the learning part. Alright everybody, since you've learned your first underbranch in Treehouse, we're going to move on to a super simple underbranch that can get you on your way to be branching like a pro. It's a great way to understand some of the physics of growth tag, and you realize that your real life body really affects the way you can branch. Like I said earlier, you could tilt your head, you could tilt your entire body. Like if you're failing an underbranch or you feel like you're gonna fail or a little too close, you could tilt your entire body to where you can reach over it. I'll show you guys again. If you're really close, you can tilt your entire body and you can reach that branch really easily. So we're just going to move on to the first underbranch I'm going to show you guys. And I'm going to show you 2 more underbranches that can really speed up your learning. Alright, so this is going to be the first one for you guys. Super simple, super clean. It's a great way to build up those muscles. Not even muscles, but like those, a lot of the game sense as well. If you're playing in real games, I recommend practicing these like all the time. Now what I did there is, if you hit your head, or like hit your head like that, and you feel like you're sliding, all you have to do is grab the branch, and you just move your hand around it. And what I recommend always is looking where you're going. So look towards the underbranch you're about to do. So if you're a little bit like this, you're going here, like that, coming there. So I recommend doing this like 10 minutes, maybe even 5 minutes at a time. Make sure to take breaks. It's a good idea to take a break from growth tag once in a while. However, if you're trying to like increase your underbranching prowess Just do like 30 times in a row, maybe even 40, and see how many you can get. So next we're going to move on to the second to last under branch, and we'll go right over to there right now. Alright, we are at the second under branch. It's not too far from where we just branched. I was just a little too lazy to walk over here, so I'm just going to edit it out. And we're going to do the second under branch. All you do is you hit off of here, under branch up to this branch here. Great way of getting some height. Great way of rotating. Absolutely the best way of getting up to platforms, maybe. There's definitely way better methods of getting up to platform. So it's going to be a basic under branch, especially if people are chasing you on ground. Sometimes if you're a little too slow, you might get caught up. You might get caught, especially right here, where you're hitting off this small little part. If you're slow like that, you're going to get tagged. I recommend speeding it up a little bit. And don't be afraid to, again, tilt your head as much as you want. Like, you can literally look towards it, be like right next to the branch, and as long as you tilt your entire body to enough where you can see the other side of the branch, you can pretty much do any under branch you want. Even sometimes looking backwards at it will help. Again, you're not looking where you're going, you might run into somebody. So you can look back at it and use that branch as well. So let's try to do this as much as possible. Maybe 30 times, 25 times maybe even. Something reasonable that won't tire you out. You'll cause soreness. Because if you're sore, that'll just ruin your entire game, ruin your scrim, and ruin your entire time on Gorilla Tag. So we're going to learn the last under branch that's going to help you improve your game and your under branching in general. So let's move on to the next one. Alright everybody, we are at the last under branch that can help you improve your game. So we're going to do this under branch. Super simple. Really one of the, I'd say like the forefathers of under branches. I swear I've seen this under branch since the dawn of Gorilla Tag. Maybe not like early Gorilla Tag, maybe like late 2021 when everyone's starting to get it down. It's going to be a great way for you to understand, like, you can put your hand behind your head. You don't have to always look towards the branch while you're under branching. You will more want to look forward. And you want to make sure you have no one obstructing your vision. You want to look where you're going next. Like, where am I going to go next? Can I go up here? Can I go over there? Because right now, I'm where I want to be. I can go wherever I want. Go up here. I fell. Kind of embarrassing. So I can be wherever I want. Come here. Go up the bridge. No great way to understand a little bit of game sense, maybe. Maybe choosing where you want to go. So I recommend doing this one every couple, we're doing it like a couple times, 5, 10 maybe in a row. See if you can get it down. Seeing maybe if you could start branching off, doing your own routes, seeing what might come. And now, the moment you've been waiting for, we're going to go do some advanced routes. That's going to be the next part of the video. We're going to move right on to those. Alright everybody, we are now on to our advanced route section. This is going to include some advanced routes. It's not going to be the best of the best, since it's going to be really hard. Maybe even extra players might struggle a little bit with some of these routes. It's really just getting it down, practicing every single day, getting it down. So we're going to go and do our first route. I'm going to just, obviously I like to break it down first and then do it at full speed. So all you're gonna do is come here. I missed that branch and I hit my window as well. All you have to do is double tap here. Now, what I recommend is starting here, hitting off of here, come here, and going around like that. So I do it again, maybe even a little slower. Getting here, this, and wrapping your hand around this. Now for this part, what you will need to do is you can move your body, tilt your entire back. All you need to do is turn it to the left, and it creates more space for your head. And you can get up to that platform, easy peasy. Now for the method I use for getting up this very bare tree, it's just a little bit of a wall run. Super simple. Let's try speeding that up a little bit. See if we can get that down. Yeah, even if you fail that, you can sometimes save that. Alright, there we go. We have that down. I would recommend doing this, like, if it doesn't soar or you don't get exhausted, I recommend doing this 10 times in a row. See if we can get it down. A little more advanced. A little more crucial as well. Using this route to get away from lava monkeys. It's very easy to get caught up. So don't be slow. Make sure that you know what you're doing. I'll show you one more time before we move on to the second route. Alright. There we go. Alright, now for the second route, I will show you guys right now. Alright everybody, we are on to the second advanced route. Now I cannot take credit for this one. I'll put the credits on screen right now. I learned this guy from this guy. He's a crazy player. He's crazy good. I just want to pass it along maybe. It's a little bit of an old video, so I was trying to do a little bit of an update. Alright, so for this one, all I want to do is under branch here, wrap your hand around, look up, under branch this, come here, hit off of here, and come up. Super simple, not going to be the most advanced in this video. However, we'll get you height, tons of height, tons of speed, get you away from the ground. Especially if you're branch main, you suck at the ground. Let's try that again. Speed it up a little bit. And just remember, you can move your body. It will affect the way your character moves. Now, if you want to do something else, I will show you a variation where all you have to do is hit here, hit back, and look behind you. So hit here, here, hit back, and now you're over here. Sometimes it will kind of juke the lava monkeys a little bit, make them look confused. However, it won't get everybody. I know that for sure. Main one again. I mess it up a little bit. Alright, there we go. So I would recommend practicing this a lot. Especially if you want to get it down for the game, for a scrim. Especially because when I was playing earlier, like I don't even know where I would go. I would just scale this tree, but now I see that branch. Just go like that. Now you're all the way on stump. Great way of traveling. Great way of getting across the map. And then I recommend doing this like 20, 15 times in a row, seeing what you can do. Make sure you don't sore yourself or make sure you don't get tired. You're just gonna ruin your experience. I know that for sure. I've done that before and it's like, I can't play Gotek anymore. I'm just done with the game. Alright, so we're gonna move on to our last route, the last advanced route before we go on to the highest pro route you can do, or one of the higher routes I do. It's gonna be very difficult. Alright, I'll show you guys that route right now. Alright guys, we are on to our last advanced route of the video. Before we go on to the hardest route, I really have to think about what we're going to do for the last one. Might have to do a part 2 of the video. So we're going to go straight into it. Just hitting here, here, aiming for this branch, coming here, under branching that, and hitting off. Which I kind of failed it. Ooh, I missed that. And hitting over to here. Great route, especially if you want to get away. People won't expect it. You can start getting really fast, but missing that branch is a death sentence. And you see what I did there? I moved my head so much where I can make that jump even though I was about to fail it. So let's try doing it again. Wow, holy. I kind of failed that again. Alright, I feel like I have to try again. So I'm just gonna get down one more time. I kind of failed that as well. Alright, you guys at least saw me do it. At least one time legit. So we're gonna move to the outro because I have to make a part 2 for this video. I feel like I have to expand on it more. I will get into the nitty gritty in separate videos, especially some more advanced slips, some long jumps, some more hard routes for you guys to master. So I will see you guys into the next video and into the outro. Alrighty guys, that's going to conclude the video today. I hope you like all the tutorials. I'm going to be doing more videos on each of those. I'm going to be doing some scaling, a little bit more routes, maybe some slip slide, maybe more walls. But you guys will see that in the future. And hit that subscribe button, give me a couple likes maybe. Hope to see you in the next video.